post this into the Facebook group later. I'm going to try. Oh, I think it was talking to me. It's saying it's recorded. Right, okay. So I'm going to try and do this really quickly because in typical Bowley style, I haven't brought my laptop charger with me and I've only got 45% on my laptop and it's one of them shitty little laptops, so it's bound to turn off in a minute. So I didn't get that. Oh, Siri's giving me shit. Right, okay, so I just want to see you all. I'm wondering if I can see you all. Yes, perfect. Okay. So the first thing that I want you guys to write down in your books, please, is to set a goal, okay? And I want to talk to you about the goal just so it's a realistic goal, basically. We're going to do this for 6 weeks. You're going to have to forgive me because I'm just going to go ahead and assume that everybody that's on this with me now wants to drop some body fat. So if that's not you and you've got a slightly different body composition goal, you can talk to me about it after, and I'll make sure whatever I'm telling you is a little bit more specific to you. But we're just going to go on the page now that everybody would like to drop a little bit of body fat, okay? So when I talk about setting a goal, what we've got to do is put ourselves out there a little bit, ladies, okay? Because what tends to happen is we tend to kind of, shrug it off a little bit, like it's not really a big deal because we're not really that arsed. Whereas in actual fact, we are arsed, but the reason why we do that is because it's safer for us to kind of be like, I'm not really that bothered, I'll have a go, rather than going all in, okay? And I want you guys to go all in for yourselves in good company for 6 weeks, all right? I'm going to do it with you. It's not about nailing it. It's about building habits that can serve you in the future so that if you ever got a body composition goal again, or you get 4 or 5 weeks in, you've got 4 or 5 weeks in and you want to start again. It's about just laying the foundations, learning how to track calories properly, being accountable to your food, understanding what routine works best for you, again, so we can switch it on when we need to. So in terms of setting a goal, you've got 6 weeks. So I would say if you wanted to, you could potentially lose, in terms of body fat, probably between 10 and 12 pounds in that time. Okay? Now, that might be irrelevant for you. You might not have 10 to 12 pounds to lose. You might want to lose 5 pounds, and that's fine. But I need you to write that down, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to sort of backstage it, if you like, for the 6 weeks to give you markers of where you should be at each point so that we know by the time we get to the end, we're on track. Okay, cheers, Joe. Take care, mate. Okay, thanks, mate. So that's the first thing. I would also like you to write down why it is important to you to achieve your goal. You're not going to share it with anybody, okay? And don't just pull it off like it's a shit exercise. It's not. What it's doing is it's allowing you to demonstrate to yourself it's important, okay? I've been here a million times. Right, once you've done that and you've established what your goal is and we've kind of broke it down to where we're going to be, we have to work out how we're going to track that progress, okay? So I want to talk to you really quickly. I'm not sure, is someone's computer not on mute? I'm going to mute everybody because there's a really weird noise coming. Okay, that might have helped. I want to talk to you about how to track, okay? So there are several ways to track. The most accurate ways to track are things like photographs, okay, where we take a photograph in the same place and we sort of take one every 2 weeks and we do it in such a way where we can see our body, right? So you might wear certain clothes. Again, you don't have to share these photographs with anybody ever, but you need to take them in a place where you can take them again. You need to use the same lighting. You need to use the same conditions, okay? You need one from the front, one from the side, or 2 from each side, and then 1 from the back. So if you can get someone to help you do them, cool. If not, most of these iPhones have got little timers on them. You can set the phone somewhere and get your photos done, okay? I like to use the weighing scales, all right? But I've got to just be honest with you and say to you that you have to be in control of the weighing scales if you're going to use them, because what they can do is derail you a lot of the time. We have to see them for what they are, okay? They are not the best measure of your progress, all right? They're not, because a million things can fluctuate your weight. So sodium in your diet, different food choices the day before, a lack of sleep, stress, all of these things can hugely impact what it says when you get on. And unless you can't put that into context and sort of disconnect from it emotionally, the scales might not be the best choice for you. And I want you to make that decision, because what we're going to do is we're going to commit to doing this for 6 weeks, irrelevant of what they say. All right. We're not going to get on in 10 days time, see a shit number and be like, oh, all right, I'm sacking it off. That's not what we're doing here. We're committing to 6 weeks together. Okay. If you are going to use the weighing scales and you think you can rationalize the number on the scales and not get too dragged into it all, my advice to you would be to do it daily. And again, that might sound a bit random to some of you, but the reason why we do it daily is because you may, if you did it once a week, say you did it every Monday morning, if in 2 weeks' time on a Sunday, depending upon your food choices or your sodium levels or your stress levels or something like that, it threw the number off on the scales, on that Monday morning when we get on it, we're going to assume that what we're doing is not working. Whereas actually most of the week you could have been dropping on the scales, but because we've not monitored it, we don't know. All right. I want you to, if you're going to use the scales, what I want you to do is download an app called Happy Scale. Okay. It's a brilliant app, honestly. Having had a really bad relationship with the scales myself for many years, I gave up using them for a very long time. Okay. Because as I'm sitting here now telling you not to get emotional about it, I got exactly like that, emotional. I binned it off as soon as I didn't think it was working. Happy Scale, what Happy Scale does is it predicts what your actual weight is, and it allows for fluctuations, okay? So when you get the app, it asks you a few questions. It asks you to set it up for yourself. It asks you to set a goal. Again, use the same principles for the goal setting that we did at the beginning, okay? Understand the maximum amount of body fat loss in a given time and set it like that. So you're not setting an enormous goal, all right? What it will do is, as you check in with it every morning, and again, if you are going to weigh and you are going to do it daily, you have to do it under the same conditions in the morning, when you wake up, after you've been to the toilet, before you've had anything to eat or drink. It will project where you actually are. So it's just a nice app. It kind of shows you a scale of progression. It teaches you over a period of time that it's quite normal that your weight will fluctuate. It will fluctuate all the time. All right. It is never linear. It's not just going to completely travel down. It's going to look really nightmare one day, brilliant the next, and so on. But again, we're committing to doing it over a certain period of time. And over that period, you are going to notice a change, okay, if we're doing these little things in between. All right, so Happy Scale. The other thing that you can do, ladies, is get your measurements done, okay? And I'm more than happy to do your measurements at the gym. I will ask the lads to do the measurements at the gym. The only thing that we need to do is make sure that it's the same person doing your measurements each time, because I've had it today with a lady on a 28-day program. And she's telling me that the dress sizes are dropping, all these different things are dropping, but my measurements today were a disaster for her. Okay, and it's just because it's me that's done them. So we've got to make sure it's fluid. Okay, that's checking progress. So photos will be done every 2 weeks. Okay, measurements can be done every 2 weeks if you want them to be. Scales, if you're going to use them, will be done daily, but you download the Happy Scale app. And if for whatever reason something seems to be throwing you off or you're not feeling it or whatever, you have to reach out to me. Do not go silent, because how we are going to monitor this checking in, ladies, we're going to set up 2 WhatsApp groups, okay? The one WhatsApp group will be for check-ins only. There'll be no chat in that group whatsoever. It will just be check-ins, and I'll explain to you what we're going to write in it in a minute. But the second group is a support group. Shit, I can't talk. A support group, okay? The one thing that I don't know, ladies, is I don't know if you've not checked in on WhatsApp, okay? It's kind of like a shit system in that respect. It's not going to send me a nudge. So I need you to reach out to me. Even if you've decided it's not for you and you're binning it off, you have to come through me before you sack it off, okay? So that I can talk to you and try and help you, all right? And even if it is something that you just want to bin off and you want to revisit it later, you've got to give me that opportunity, okay? So every day, the things that I want you to check in for. So if you write this down for me, the first one is calories. So that is number 1. Okay. The second one, number 2, is step count. The third one is a number out of 10. Okay. So you will give yourself a score out of 10. And the third one, you can interpret it however you like. But what I would say to you is it's just a general, how do you feel today? All right. Not necessarily about the process, but about your motivation, whether you're struggling with anything, whatever, whether you're incredibly tired, whatever it will be. Okay. The fourth one that you will check in for will be water. Okay, so it will be just put water down for now, and I'll tell you how to set a goal on that. Okay, so tracking calories, we're going to use MyFitnessPal. Okay, and for those of you that have got a bad relationship with it already, it's about forming new habits with it. Okay, I hated it for years. It did my head in. It took the fun out of eating, all the rest of it. I've used all the excuses in the world, but we're going to do this for 6 weeks. That's all. It's not a lifetime thing. All right. And if we don't nail a good relationship with MyFitnessPal, we're never going to be able to switch this on whenever we need to. And that's the key bit. As soon as we add that little element of tracking in, that a little bit of accountability, we can change our body as we like. It's easy. So we have to nail the relationship with MyFitnessPal. So we've just got to get au fait with it. The thing that MyFitnessPal will do is it'll give you a shit amount of calories to eat. All right. So you are going to take your goal, write this down for me, your goal body weight in pounds, and you are going to times it by 12. Now, this does not work for absolutely everybody, but it's a 95% of the time it works, okay? And when I say it doesn't work for everybody, if you think it's an absolutely ridiculous number, as in too low, then let me know, okay? When I talk about your goal body weight, all right, we are referring back to what I said to you was an achievable goal over the 6 weeks, okay? We're not going any lower than that. So somebody might be sitting there now saying to me, but Bo, I want to lose 20 pounds. That's not how it works. We have to do it in stages, all right? Because we never want to go too low on your calories straight away. And I'll explain why later. But, okay, be reasonable with yourself. Personally, I'm setting a goal of like maybe, I don't know, 3 to 4 kilos lost, so about £8. So I'm going to do my goal body weight, which is my weight now, minus my £8, times by 12. And that is going to be your starting point on your calories. Okay? And if you're sitting there now thinking it sounds too high, it's not. All right? I hear that all the time. It's not. Your step count. Okay? So step count, when I have had real big success with dropping fat, okay, it has been basically down to my movement. All right. When I've really focused on my step count and made an effort to get up and go out and do my steps, my results have come flying in every single time. Okay. Steps are really good because they're not as intense as training. They're not as intense as exercise in the gym, and therefore they don't leave you feeling as knackered. So if I was to say to you, for example, come into the gym twice a day for 7 days a week, you'd be done in. You wouldn't be able to do anything. The calorie deficit wouldn't work because you'd be too fatigued. But steps is like a midway point. What I would like you to do is take the average of what you have done over the past 2 weeks and try to add 30% on top. Now, to add some context, if you're already doing 15K a day, that's enough, okay? 15,000 steps there or thereabouts, I feel, is the sweet point as to where we're at. But if you're currently doing 2,000 steps a day, you know, and you can manage maybe 5, or you think we could aim for 5, that's what I'm looking to do, all right? This number will change as we move throughout the 6 weeks. This is just the first sort of 10 days we're talking about, okay? If you're currently doing 3,000 steps a day, there's no point in setting it to 12 because we're not going to achieve it, all right? We're looking to have some positive reinforcement over the next 7 to 10 days. We're looking to tick all this shit off every day, okay? So that's how you're going to work out your step count goal. My advice to you would be with steps is to physically go out and do the majority of them in a sitting. So if you're somebody constantly pacing the office, for example, that might be fine. But if you're somebody that spends maybe 6 hours out of your 8-hour day sat at a computer and you're just going off what you just do while you're sort of mooching between work and home or things that you do at home, I would really love it if you could set aside some time and go out and get a good pace on, the kind of pace where you're having a bit of sweat on your back, not dripping, not dying, not overexerting yourself, but a good pace, yeah? All right? That is the best way to do it, okay? I'm going to encourage you guys to shout each other in the WhatsApp groups after this so that you can opt in for a bit of walking. All right? It's really nice to have someone to walk with. It's decent. It's a little bit of socialization, all right? And you can push each other. And then, you know, if someone's waiting on you, you're more likely to do it. That group accountability thing really works, okay? The 1 to 10, as I've described, that's number 3. How you're gonna give yourself a number out of 10 on how you feel. Listen, you interpret it. It's if I see you start scoring yourself as a 2 out of 10 for 2 or 3 days in a row, I'm gonna really feel like I need to reach out to you to see what's happening and see if I can help you. Okay, so it's a good monitor. Also, if we have days where we go over our calories or we don't do our steps and we're a bit stressed and we're scoring 2s out of 10, it's nice to have a reason or like some evidence to support why we're not managing it. You know, if you're absolutely stressed to the nines and work's been shit, well, it's understandable that those days are probably going to score a little bit lower than others, okay? Number 4 for your water challenge, you guys need to drink minimum 2 litres of water a day, minimum. But I would like you to aim where possible for 3, okay? Again, if you're drinking none right now, there's no point in setting a 3-litre task because it's not going to happen. You're going to fail at it, all right? So I want you to make a conscious effort. Pick a good number. Hydration is super key. The reason why we kind of get away without doing it is just because how clever your body is. It gets used to what you're putting into it. But for fat loss to work, we need optimum conditions for your body. It needs to feel well relaxed, like well nourished, well rested, well hydrated, and then it starts to lose the fat nicely. When it's under a lot of stress, when all you're drinking is coffee and you're getting 4 hours sleep a night and you're fucking stressed with work, it's not going to lose it because your body's trying to protect itself. All right. So we need to kind of fool it into thinking that everything's great. So pick a number, what you think is, you know, a bit of an effort for you to have a go at, but definitely achievable. And that's going to be your water target. In the check-in WhatsApp group, I literally want you to write 1, 2, 3, 4 and your scores next to it. So if you tracked and hit your calories, you will write 1, yes. Yeah. If you managed your step count within about 10%, you'll go 2, yes. On number 3, you'll score yourself out of 10. And on number 4, it will either be yes or no. Okay. Yes, I hit my water target. No, I did not. Okay. Wow. Not fucking stopped talking, have I? Not like me. Okay. That's it, basically. That's it. We've talked about goal setting. Don't overlook it. If you really want to achieve these results, do the goal setting. It's important. And if you get a little bit emotional about it and you kind of really want it to happen, that's fine, man. You're in good company. All right. And together we can do this. The 6 weeks are going to pass anyway. And there will be people, I guarantee you, there'll be people in this group now that do manage to see the 6-week progress through. So you can be one of them people. Just by choosing that. If it gets a bit tough or you get fed up with it or you can't be asked, just reach out to me and let me know. All right, and I'll help you. Okay. So we spoke about tracking. Measurements are available at the gym. You just need to ask us, get us in, let us know. Tell the lads that this is why you're doing it and this is what it's for. I think we might even have some spare booklets around so we can use the booklets for your tracking your measurements. You're going to take your photographs. You're going to do them today or tomorrow in the morning when you wake up. You're going to do them every 2 weeks. If you're going to use the scales, we're going to download the Happy Scale app and we're going to input our details into there every day. We've spoken about your goal body weight and we've spoken about your calories and how we're working it out. Your goal body weight in pounds times 12, that's going to give you your figure. And then we're going to talk about how we're going to track. And that's it. The biggest thing with fat loss is consistency. So when I talk to you now about committing to this challenge for 6 weeks, all right, you could come to me in 3 weeks and say, Bo, it's not for me. I can't be asked. It's just not for me. And that's not an issue. It's never going to be an issue. I don't want it to neg you out. But the point I'm trying to make is that we don't need to sort of do it for a day, go absolutely wild, walk 30,000 steps, drink 5 litres of water, you know, track 1,200 calories and be like, I'm fucking done. We need to think of the long game. Okay, we need to lay positive foundations that allow you to prove to yourself that you can do it. That's it. Tracking calories, I find, if you give yourself enough calories so that hunger is not something you're having to deal with, like overwhelmingly hungry, then you're far more likely to succeed in it because you're not going to not track it if it's all right, if it's comfortable. So again, if your calories look super low to you right now, then let me know. Because some of us that are perhaps more, like quite lean anyway, if we've got quite a good bit of muscle mass, for example, we're lifting good weights in the gym, we're training hard, we may need more calories even just to maintain weight. So again, if your calories are looking wild, let me know. you can send me a WhatsApp message directly after this meeting and I will work them out for you. Okay? Let's help each other. Let's just support each other to do it. You know what I mean? What have we got to lose? We're going to, as we say, we're going to put the work in anyway. The thing is about the training, what's really beautiful about all of this, I find when you're working with TBT, okay, is that we take care of the training. All right. So in terms of the gym, all you've got to do is get yourself to the door and it's taken care of, the intensity, everything that we're doing. So really, if we can combine the nutrition and just getting yourself to the door, the results will be phenomenal. I've always found in the past for myself, I've managed to do one, but not the other. So when I've not been training, I've managed to do my calories. I've managed to track. There's something about, I don't know what it is. It's like this habit that I got into. So I could do this one side. But then when I started training, I started giving myself the old, oh, well, I've trained. I can eat that. Oh, I can have that. It's not a problem because I've trained. And it's just about forging and building new habits. This is not a forever thing. You know, this is the other thing with people, because a lot of people, like a lot of people in my life, like my mum, my sister, my family, they're all like, oh, you're too serious. You're taking it too far. You know, you're not right with it and all that. But you know, what they might not understand is I'm not doing it forever. I'm not interested in doing it forever at all. I'm interested in achieving my goal, and that's it. And if we did it for 4 weeks and we got where we wanted to be, we could stop. And then all we can do then in the future, if we feel like we want to just give it a little bit of extra focus, that's all we do. We don't change anything. We haven't put food rules in. There's no rules. You can eat whatever you like. You can drink whatever you like. It just has to fit within your calories. Okay? This is not the way it's going to be forever. In 2 weeks' time or so, we're going to start to talk about quality of food. We're going to start to talk about protein content. But right now, I would really love it if you would continue to eat the normal foods that you eat now, but just with a little bit more accountability. You know, there's nothing wrong, ladies, with weighing some of your food out. There's nothing wrong with it, because it's going to get you where you want to be. We're not getting obsessive about it. We're just knowing the facts. That's all. This is what I'm eating. Now I can record it. I know I've hit my calories. All right. So I've waffled forever now. So unmute yourself, fire some questions at me, and let's go. We're doing well. Just me, is it? Just me. Can you hear someone clearing their throat, ready to talk? Come on, hit me with it. What's happening? No? You got no questions? Come on, can't have been that fucking informative that you've got no questions, no tips, no help.
Hello. I think for me, I'm not going to get my step count every day when I'm working. So is it okay to...
An average, yeah. Sorry, forgot to mention food, yeah. It's an average for the week, yeah. My bad, ladies, yeah. Forgot to mention that.
Yeah, that's all achievable, I think, for me.
Yeah, I think as well, like from a calorie perspective, they say to do it on an average, don't they? In terms of if you have like hit your target one day or be under one day, then you can accumulate at the weekend or whenever.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. The reason why I would love you to try not to do that initially is just simply because I would love to just get into the habit of ticking it off. So it works exactly as you've said. It works. It's an energy balance thing. So it could be over a 2-week period for all that it matters. But what I would love for you to start seeing is results fairly quickly, you know, because that's going to really encourage you to stay with it. So if we can just start to build those habits for maybe the first 7 to 10 days, and then as you find it, we can start adding a little bit more flexibility in. We are, as I said, we are going to start talking about things like protein and stuff like that as we move throughout the program. But for now, I would just love it if you all just could tick it off. So if it was so easy that it was just like, yeah, no problem.
Are you giving us any targets to get in the gym, or is that just kind of just turn up to what you can turn up to?
Yeah,
and then just do steps. Right.
Sorry, okay. Was that you, Helen, that asked me that?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Sorry, mate, there's a bit of a delay. Yeah, no, just 3 sessions a week. So again, in terms of the gym, ladies, it's about you, and if you want to attend more and you feel like it's good for you, you know, your mental health, however you feel, then come in. But 3 sessions lifting weights is enough for anybody. All right, we target full body, Everything's getting worked. So don't feel obligated to do more, but if you want to, that's cool.
Foley.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Bethany.
Hi. Can I also add a check-in for me for sleep, please?
Yeah, sleep is a big one.
Because
It's funny.
I'm really bad at getting my hours of sleep in.
When I say about sleep, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because I think a lot of people, you're all so busy, right? So I think you'd prioritise sleep if you could. But on that note, Bethany, it's like one of the key things, when I was talking about your body having optimal conditions before, sleep is a huge one. Cortisol hormone is raised when we're not getting the sleep, we're drinking too much caffeine. You know, so yeah, if you feel like it's great to add it in for yourself, cool. Yeah. Add it in for a target 7 to 8
just
hours.
it will help me with my motivation and my ability to stick to it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that, Bethany, for a minute, just because I know, because you and I have spoken before. So you're a bit of a night owl, right? You like staying up a little bit at night, yeah?
Yeah.
Perfect. So again, a bit like with the steps, what I would say to you is we need to now actively try and forge new habits. And the sleep one is a big one. It's a big one between me and my partner at home, because she would happily stay up till 3 a.m. and I can't even function.
Yeah.
You know, I do one night and I'm done. So what I would say to you, because I imagine you're still getting up early anyway, but maybe, you know, use it as an opportunity to get up, and perhaps if you could do steps at that point, or, you know, even if you just said to yourself, listen, for the first 5 days, I'm going to set my alarm super early so that every night I'm tired. And hopefully that will try to allow you to get into a new pattern of sleep. No caffeine after 12, midday kind of time, yeah. And
Oh, really? Okay.
There you go. Yeah, because it's got this half-life that they talk about. So, you know, depending on how much it affects you, it can still be, you know, pumping in your system for quite a while after you've had it. So, but see how you get on.
Okay.
See how you get on.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody got any other questions? No? It's super simple, ladies, you know.
Bethany, there's a really, really good book by someone called Michael Mosley about sleep, which I can lend you, and it's changed my life.
Wow,
it's really practical stuff that you can do.
Okay, thank you. That'd be great.
I'll bring it in.
Ideal. Share that in the WhatsApp group up, Cap. Send it in. That's a good idea. Good idea.
Yeah.
Bo.
Hi.
Bo. Hello. Hiya. Does it make a difference going to the gym 3 days on the run than missing days out than every other day? Does it make a difference?
I mean, in terms of your recovery, it might be a bit tough on you. But in terms of like overall results and well-being, no, not at all. You're all right, mate. You just got to train when you can, haven't you?
Right. Yeah. Right. No, that's all right. That's fine. Thank you.
Are we up for it, ladies, or not really? Are we kind of on the fence a bit about it, or are we going to give it a go?
I would like to.
Yeah, give it a go.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think what you've done, Bo, as well, is like it's really flexible. Like I know for me personally, I'm quite I probably can't do the steps just because I've got a little one. But the fact that it's 30% on your own steps as opposed to some unreasonable amount, not everyone might be able to do. I think it's quite, you know, something that we can all kind of get to grips with, because that's what I was worried about. It's like I definitely won't be able to do 10,000 steps, but if it's 30% on what I'm doing normally, I can kind of bite-size that, so that's good. You know, and for me, maybe it's like going to the gym one more time to make up for it or something. So I think, for me, it makes sense what you're saying.
Well, I would say that's perfect. So I totally agree. And honestly, as long as I've been doing this job, this method has changed a lot. It's not changed so much in the last couple of years because it worked. It does really work. But I think the thing that has changed for me is it is about that. It's about getting it, ticking it. That's what it's about. Because everybody I know will track Monday, maybe Wednesday or Thursday that week, maybe if they're lucky. They'll get 4 days in. and then it goes out the window. And that is because we've made it too difficult. We stop drinking, we stop snacking, we stop fucking having like the food that we enjoy. You know, we do all this stuff, and we don't need to do all that to get results anyway. We just need marginal changes, but we need to bear with it for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Anybody got any questions? Anything that they need help with? Because if not, we'll wrap it up. I'm happy to wrap it up. I'm going to keep putting stuff in the group anyway. I wish this was a more jazzy thing, you know, I really do. I wish it was. But as somebody that you pay to look after your health and fitness, I can absolutely guarantee that this works 100%. It helps forge a good relationship with food. We're not demonizing certain things. I'm always talking to you guys about carbs when I'm in the gym, because carbs is what fuels your sessions. And it's the things that we like, you know, you get a satisfaction from eating them, you know, so that you can include absolutely everything. You can even have a glass of wine if you want to every day, as long as it's in your calories. I'm not saying it's the most efficient way to get the results that you're after, because alcohol does get processed slightly differently within our bodies, but it can be done. Energy balance is what's key. And I would also really encourage you guys, if you need someone to walk with, just post it in the group, because somebody else might be thinking it. I've also got a couple of dogs you can borrow if you want to take them out. You're more than welcome. Okay. Anybody got any questions? Anything they want to write in the chat bot? Anything at all like that? No? Are we going to go for it then? If you're not going to go for it, if you've been on the Zoom and you've realised that it's not for you, please send me a WhatsApp just so I know not to chase you. Okay. But I think, honestly, between all of us, we can get it boxed.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Brilliant.
Thanks, Bear.
Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Take care. See you
Thanks,
soon.
Bear.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Bye.